Please, will you call Mrs. Drake and ask her to come here?
Now, Mrs. Ellis, try not to worry about things.
Sarah, that's Mrs. Drake. She can vouch for me. Her number is Hampstead 4072. See, the lieutenant won't listen to me. He won't hear my story.
Would you wait outside, please, Miss Linton?
Certainly, Doctor.
Oh, Mrs. Ellis, I'm Dr. Henrys, and I'm most interested to hear what you have to say.
Well, I must say, Doctor, that's the first encouragement that I've had.
Well, I am sure that nobody intended to discourage you.
There is nothing whatsoever the matter with me. I admit that I've been through a terrible experience, quite enough to unnerve anyone. My house has been broken into.
Broken into?
Well, moved into would be more to the point. I wish you could see it. I wish you could have seen it before they moved in and took over. Then you might have some modicum of an idea of what I have been through.
Well, you tell me exactly how it happened.
How it happened, I will never know. But I can tell you what happened. I tell you, I had not been gone from the house for more than 5 minutes. Just to the corner and returned. The house was different. It was the same house. But it was just as if years of neglect and decay had set in. I was utterly bewildered.
Well, I should say so.
Then I tried turning my key in the lock. But it wouldn't turn. It wouldn't unlock. Well, then I called Grace to come and open it. I called her many times.
Grace?
Grace was my housekeeper. Then the most uncouth man appeared. Without a shirt on, mind you. And he was very rude about opening the door. Of course he did, but very ungraciously.
And you did not know him?
Emphatically, I did not know him. Why I did not scream at the sight of him, I will never know. I was so surprised, I must have been in a state of shock. I only knew that I must get inside my house. My house. I've always been so proud of it. Kept it so well. Mostly for Susan.
Oh, yes, the lieutenant said that you mentioned a daughter in some school or other.
Miss Slater's school.
Well, now, you tell me that you wanted to get inside your home, and that this man, whom you had never seen before, finally let you in.
If I was bewildered at the outside of my house, the appearance of my entry hall struck me dumb. The mirror was cracked and faded. There was litter strewn all over the place. And that brutish Upshaw man kept staring at me as if I were the intruder.
You did not find Grace inside, I take it.
Oh, don't you see? When they moved in, they must have murdered her.
You keep saying they, Mrs. Ellis.
Well, there were 4 of them that I saw, and Mr. Upshaw told me that his wife was living there, though I never saw her. The man living downstairs was apparently married to that cheap woman upstairs who said she was a photographer. Oh, and that preacher with the cat in Susan's room.
You did see them all. You're quite sure of that.
Of course I saw them. I talked to them. Doctor, I am not a clever woman. I am not in the least bit creative. I could not possibly have invented these
There
people.
now, Mrs. Ellis.
Go there, will you? Take the lieutenant. See for yourself. Look at them. See what those people have done to my lovely house.
Now, Mrs. Ellis, you listen to me. You calm yourself. And you listen to me. These people, these things that have been happening in your home could not possibly have happened in 5 minutes.
I tell you, I was only gone for 5 minutes.
It is not possible. And
I know that. But it's true, entirely true. It happened, I tell you, it happened. It's as if all the things I feared had descended upon me. All the good swept away. All the ugliness settled about me. Lieutenant?
Well, Mrs. Ellis, you look rested.
I demand to know what has been done to safeguard my property while I was being drugged.
We just wanted to be sure you get the rest you needed so much. You sit down, please. Mrs. Ellis, there's, 17 Elmhurst Road is not a private home.
Not a private home.
It was made into apartments some years ago. You're not one of the tenants.
I live there alone, except for my little daughter, Susan, and my housekeeper, Grace Jackson.
You're not listed in the phone book or in the city directory. There's no Ellis on the register of the Belmont Street Bank that you asked me to check.
No Ellis.
No Ellis. There's no one in the entire neighborhood by the name of Grace Jackson.
My friend Sarah Drake. You called her?
Mrs. Philip Drake of 21 Charleston Court? Yes, we checked that too. There used to be apartments at that address. They were torn down 20 years ago.
20 years ago. And Miss Slater's school?
We checked that too. There used to be a Miss Slater's school for girls. It's a coeducational school now run by Mr. and Mrs. Foster. There's no pupil there by the name of Susan Ellis.
No Susan. I don't know what I've done. Why are you all against me? I've done everything I could to cooperate, to help. What is it? What is wrong?